I think that Depp's costs are going to be close to 3 to 5 million, and that the Sun's costs will be in that 1.5 to 2 million range. So this is a potentially a £7.5 million case. We presume that whatever is written is false unless you can prove to the contrary. The burden of proving the truth of an article always lies on the speaker, on the defendant, never on the claimant. And it's those kind of fundamental things. We don't have a public figure defense, which of course they do in America. And it's those kind of examples which make it virtually impossible to lose a libel case in London. It is done on occasion, but it's pretty rare. And of course, the implications in this case are that if you lose the case in London, it's almost a racing certainty that you're not going to win in America. And so that, I think, holds the Depp case for libel against the Washington Post and Amber Heard in Virginia below the waterline. They are sinking without trace as we speak. The whole point about an appeal is that the appeal has to go forward on the basis that the judge who heard the witnesses decided that he believed the evidence of Amber Heard and didn't believe the evidence of Johnny Depp. That's the basis on which the appeal is heard. It has to be effectively a complete legal howler from the judge. Now, he was a professor at the LSE of law before he went into becoming a barrister. He writes one of the key books, the key legal texts on libel law. And in those circumstances, the chances of him having made a legal howler are very remote. And he's carefully reasoned this judgment over 585 paragraphs. He's looked at all the evidence and he's explained the reasons in detail. This case is unappealable in London. Now, I understand from PR terms why Depp's legal team would want to say that they're appealing because it casts some shadow of doubt over the current verdict. But I'm here to tell you that verdict is solid, that is unappealable, and that Depp can ask, it's his right to ask for an appeal, but he won't get it and he won't win it. The key issue around this case is the way in which gender is dealt with in libel cases. For too long now, we've seen rich and powerful parties trying to silence physical, sexual, and emotional abuse through the courts. And what has happened on this occasion is that the courts have said, enough already. We're being abused in this way, and we're not going to countenance it carrying on in the future. So it does stand as a very stark precedent and a message to everybody that you can come safely as a victim of domestic abuse to the courts of London, and we will protect you. And I don't think that as a consequence of that, we're going to see that encouraging, people who have been libel tourists, foreign nationals coming to London to try and vindicate themselves in a court where they know in their home court they couldn't win.